Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now April 5th of 2021. Ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2, a lot of fans have been very curious on whether or not both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni can really pull things off when it comes to this new expanded universe. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that we do know about Disney Star Wars is that they are now actively working on the Kenobi series. I don't know if you guys actually have seen the leaked set footage. It actually is looking very impressive from what we can see. You know, Tatooine obviously is going to play the major role that it needs to play. Now, Ewan McGregor and Hayden, they're going to begin filming their scenes later this month, but the overall production of the Kenobi show is full on being worked on right now. However, a lot of fans have been very much in tune with Jon and Dave and what they are doing with The Mandalorian, the Ahsoka Tano series, and more of what's to come involving these two major creators. Now, obviously, Kathleen Kennedy over the years, as I like to always say, has been nothing more than a force of destruction, as I like to call her, Darthleen Kennedy. When we look at everything related to what she had done with The Last Jedi, with The Rise of Skywalker, with the soloist Star Wars story box office results, and what could have been for more Darth Vader footage in Rogue One. I mean, just about every Disney Star Wars film, Kathleen Kennedy sabotaged in some way, shape, or form. Now, everything related to Gina Carano, alright? We do know that a lot of fans have defended her for the past couple of weeks now, ever since her firing back in February of this year. You know, when she was fired, obviously a lot of fans sided with her, meanwhile other fans were against her, and that created a further division within the Star Wars fandom without a doubt. Even a division over at Lucasfilm does indeed exist between employees, be it artists, writers, whatever have you. Now, what's really intriguing and exciting all has to do with Gina and Jon Favreau. Now, with both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni now actively working on shows like Ahsoka, Kenobi, and Mando, Disney and Lucasfilm are dedicated to creating a full-fledged Star Wars universe for the entire fandom. However, since the firing of Gina Carano by Kathleen Kennedy, many fans have walked away from the Star Wars franchise, while others even canceled their Disney Plus subscription. However, it's noted that Jon Favreau is currently doing something significant about actress Gina Carano. It's best described that creator Jon Favreau has convinced many of the higher-ups over at Disney, even some of the board members that were against Gina Carano, to do something big for Gina in The Mandalorian Season 3. Now, it's noted that Jon Favreau is set to include one of the major deleted scenes of Gina Carano as Cara Dune in The Mandalorian Season 3 that is set to serve as a recap and also will serve as what happened just moments after Season 2's finale. Now, this major deleted scene is set to involve Ahsoka Tano by Rosario Dawson and Gina Carano as Cara Dune in the very beginning of the third season to kick things off successfully about the character's new adventures, such as Ahsoka in the Ahsoka series, and a way for Jon Favreau to explain Gina Carano's absence in the majority of Mando Season 3. Now, Gina's scene from Mando Season 3 is said to be an edited version of an important scene from the second season that did not make the final product. Favreau is said to have convinced the board members of Disney to include this deleted scene of Gina, given that it would fulfill his vision of what's to come for the Ahsoka series with Dave Filoni. Now, this was an idea that Favreau pitched shortly after Gina was fired, that was immediately rejected and is now being put into place in order to create a good recap and set up for the Ahsoka Tano series. Now, the Carano scene with Rosario is said to involve very important dialogue, much needed dialogue about the Jedi that needs to be used for Mando, and so Disney was put in a corner to agree, as of course it must have been a scene that's going to be used in order to actually express some of the context for Season 3. This entire sequence also involved Cara Dune, portrayed by Gina Carano, while Ahsoka Tano gives the important pieces of dialogue. So Disney was pretty much pressured to really agree by Jon Favreau's hands here about what should be done. Now, here's the thing that really I think a lot of fans are going to be mad about. Now, this little recap, this deleted scene that's going to be edited and reworked and placed at the very beginning of the third season, like the opening of Season 3, that's going to serve as a gateway to the Ahsoka series. Obviously, I can see how Disney was put in a corner, pretty much how they were pretty much like a rat in a cage where they just had to make a decision, right? So what they had to do was they had to agree with Jon to at least include a past filmed scene by Gina to be placed in this show. This was a Gina Carano plan that Jon Favreau had actually suggested to Disney shortly after her firing. Like I say, they rejected it, and now it's being put back into place. So here's the thing about this entire scenario that's also important that I think a lot of fans need to know, is that Season 3 is not going to be a regular Mandalorian season. This is going to be where Mandalorian Season 3 is going to actually serve as a gateway to all of the other TV shows that are going to be done in the future. Kind of like, you know, how Jon Favreau, you know, how he was heavily involved with the MCU. When you look at the MCU, there are some movies out there that were more important than others as far as teasing other films. This Mandalorian Season 3, alright, project is going to be the same exact thing. So, when we look at everything related to the Ahsoka Tano series, obviously, you know, this scene is very important. It's going to include very important information and dialogue about the Jedi, and in that scene, it so happens that Gina Carano had a scene with Rosario. So you can't really, you know, just put it to the side and just get rid of it, because they were actually banking on using this scene for a very long time to set up the Ahsoka show. Now, here's the thing also. When we look at everything by Kathleen Kennedy, we do know that Kathleen Kennedy is 100% against this idea. She has something against Gina Carano. Obviously, there has been a grudge between the two for some time now. Obviously, not on Gina's end. She's just a nice person that doesn't cause any kind of trouble, you know. She likes everybody as she stated, but there are people that come after her, and there's people that are always going to come after her. And at the end of the day, I think it's kind of good and pretty much a blessing in disguise that she's able to part ways and focus on other projects. But we'll have to wait and see, because we talked about this a couple of days ago, is that Lucasfilm employees, some of the board members at Disney, they want Gina back because they know it's going to gain their revenue. They know it's going to bring back a lot of fans, maybe, and that's a big maybe. Honestly, I don't even know if Gina Carano would come back. I know I expressed this in my past couple of other videos, but some of you guys were saying that she probably and most likely would come back in a heartbeat. I'm not quite so sure about that. Just to disagree with some of you guys, respectfully, I just don't think that she would come back that easily. I think it would have to take a lot of convincing to really get her back there physically. So about this Gina Carano plan that is now being revived by Jon Favreau, because it's so important. It's so important to the Ahsoka series that Lucasfilm and Disney, they have to use it. They have to use it. Are they going to pay Gina Carano for this scene? That we don't know. Is it already included in her contract, given that she already filmed the show, or the scene for Season 2? That's a little confusing there, you know, as far as what her contract is going to go by. But everything related to Gina Carano, obviously, a lot of fans have been very much angry over how Kathleen Kennedy fired her, how this was all done by social media on purpose. Lucasfilm employees wanted her to get fired this way, and so they got their actual wish there, you know? They got it. So let me know what you guys think about this entire situation below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.